Welcome to class 22 of Practical Lawyering, where we'll pick up where we left off last time and talk about how to automate email, how to be more efficient in setting your tasks and managing those, and as well as managing your calendar appointments. There are a couple of ways to manage your email that you're probably familiar with. You can use a program like Outlook, or you can use a web-based system such as Google's Gmail. Most of you are probably familiar with Microsoft Outlook. It's a great program, but it resides on your computer. Some of you may know about Gmail. So the key, though, is to automate your email and to batch process. We've already talked about that. So let's look at your inbox. The first problem that people generally encounter in their email world is that they have several accounts. So the trick is to simply use one program like Microsoft Outlook and have it receive all of your email accounts into one place. And you can set up any email program to do that. Microsoft Outlook, Apple Mail, any of them will let you add several accounts so that you don't have to be checking one and then the other. You can just look in one inbox and see all of your email from both your work and personal accounts. So once you've tackled that problem, the next issue is going to come up with folders. People like to create folders to organize their cases, and this is a great idea. The problem is it takes time because you have to drag each email into the folder that it belongs to. The solution to this is to use rules. Again, any program, Microsoft Outlook, any email program will let you create rules that let you define how email is handled when it comes in. So you can say, if something relates to Acme, put it in the Acme folder, or the Baxter folder, put it in the Baxter folder. The question is, how do you set up the rule? Since rules are based on if-then statements, you can set them up using any number of conditions, such as if an email is from a certain sender, or if the subject line contains a certain word. So what happens if you use rules and all of the emails are automatically filed into particular folders? The problem is that the rules are going to make emails skip your inbox, so you'll have to go to each individual folder to read the various emails, right? So what's the solution? How can we make it so that we only have to go to one place to read all the emails that have come in? The solution is to use something called smart folders. Smart folders are available in Outlook or in any email program. And basically all smart folders are search folders. Microsoft Outlook comes with a predefined search folder called Unread Mail, but you can add additional ones called Unread Today or Unread This Week. Then what happens is all of the email that has not been read is in that folder. After you get out of that folder, after you've read all the emails, then you go back in there, those emails would disappear. If you want to, you can set up email folders for Unread Today or Unread This Week, and that way you can quickly drill into those folders, read the emails, but they've already been filed in whatever folder they belong in. So this is just an easy way to quickly read all of your emails in one place. Great. So now your question is, how do we set all this up? Rather than tell you, I'm going to show you how to find out. Go to Google and type in this search term: rules, email, and Outlook. I'm assuming, of course, you have Microsoft Outlook. So it would take you to this page, and here's the answer to your question. That first link is a Microsoft document that shows you how to set this all up. Now, how do you create search folders? Again, I'm going to show you how to find the answer. Go to Google, type in search, folders, email, Outlook, or whatever email program you used. And you see here, the first result is Microsoft's explanation of how to set up search folders. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you about using webmail, which I think is actually the best way to have your email. The advantages of webmail are pretty obvious. You can access it from anywhere. It's also pretty reliable, and it, in the case of Gmail, allows you to search all of your emails very quickly using Google search, which of course is very powerful. And of course, anything you can do in Microsoft Outlook, you can also do in Google's Mail, such as rules, folders or labels, and also managing your tasks and contacts. Gmail is free, so I encourage you to go explore it. I'm not going to say much about it other than to show you, in case you haven't seen it, this is an example of what the inbox looks like. What I want to show you is how you can manage your tasks and your to-do items within Google's Gmail system. All you have to do is click on this task link, and that initiates the process of setting up your tasks. Doing this in Microsoft Outlook, I'm sure you know how to do this. So I'm just going to show you how to do it in Google. It's pretty simple, basic thing. You just type whatever your tasks are, and you can reorder them if you want to later on. You can set dates and so forth, and we'll talk about that in a second. But basically it's pretty easy. You just set up a task list. You can have multiple task lists and just type in all the information you want to keep track of. Now, there's also a preference pane which lets you set up things like you can indent tasks or move them up or down. You can edit the details and clear completed tasks if you don't want to see those. And then over on the other side you have the ability to rename lists or add new lists, so you can have a list of tasks for work, personal, etc. Now, in Outlook you can convert emails to tasks simply by dragging them over. How would you do this in Gmail? In Gmail you would just click on the email and then choose Add as a task, and it would convert that email or pop it into your task list. And you can then edit the subject line of the email to then say what you want to say about that task. It will remember the association to the email, so later on you'll be able to find that email again from within the task list. But what we want to do now is to show you how you would set this all up. So let's drill into this one, and we see here we can assign a due date to this task. So let's assign a date. You can even type in a little note if you want to have some additional information, a phone number or whatever. And then you just type in the note and then click back to list, and now this has been added not only to the task list, but because you gave it a date, it will also be added to your calendar. So you see here it's in the Google Calendar as a task. You click on that and it pulls up the email. So now I want to talk to you about Google's Calendar, which I just briefly showed you. It works pretty much like Microsoft's Outlook calendar. You can you see a screen with, say, the week view, and you can add events just by dragging over the area on the calendar. But this is the cool feature. When you click on Quick Add, you can use natural language to add a calendar event. So you don't have to type in the exact day. You could say lunch tomorrow with Tom at noon, and it'll just pop it into the calendar. So that's cool, but what if you could add things to your calendar using a cell phone? You can if you subscribe to this free service called Dial To Do. So basically you just give them your phone number, you give them your Gmail login info, and then you add their phone number as a quick dial on your cell phone. So let's take a look at how this would work. Let's say I'm driving down the highway in my car and I want to make an appointment. I pick up my phone, hit the quick dial key, and make the call.
What would you like to do?
Calendar.
Calendar. Record your calendar event details.
Lunch tomorrow with Tom O'Connor at noon. And within a few minutes, while I'm still driving, the event will have been added to my Gmail calendar. Pretty amazing, huh? You can use Dial To Do to send emails, text messages, and do a bunch of other amazing things. Okay, so that wraps up today's class. I hope that you learned some useful tips on how to be more efficient with your email, your tasks, and your calendaring. Next time we'll talk about setting up a phone system and voicemail.